Today, we're going to talk about the toxins that are lurking in your kitchen. And I'm not going to be talking about the obvious toxins like the chemicals and detergents and bleaches and cleaners and bug sprays, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk about those hidden toxins that you might not be thinking about. All right. The first one I'm going to talk about is the toxins in non-stick cookware. You know, the stuff that actually is really convenient for frying an egg or cooking food that might normally stick. So I'm not talking about Teflon. Teflon shouldn't be having Teflon, shouldn't even be able to buy Teflon. But even those non-stick pans actually can flake off if you scratch it. Those most non-stick surfaces contain PFAS. This stands for per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. These are forever chemicals, and they're really bad for the body. They're also bad for the environment. One scratch in a nonstick surface can release 9,000 PFAS, forever chemical particles, and that's something that you can get into your food. So what's the solution to that? Rather than use a nonstick pan, use natural nonsticks. So cast iron that's properly seasoned is a great nonstick surface. Or cook with stainless steel. That's what they use in restaurants. It's a great surface. Or use a copper pan. All right. So another hidden source of toxins in your kitchen are plastic containers. You know, the ones that actually have been sold, plastic containers with a top, so convenient for leftovers, so convenient for bringing your lunch the next day to work, right? Well, here's the thing. We now know that plastic sheds microplastics and nanoplastics. These are tiny, tiny little pieces of plastics into your food. And here's another one. What about the plastic cutting board, right? So easy to clean, lightweight. Well, I can tell you that when you cut onto the plastic cutting board, you're releasing microplastics right into the raw food that you're actually cutting. And an Italian study recently showed that people with cardiovascular disease, they found 50% of those people, when they actually looked at the blockages in their blood vessels, had plastic, microplastics and nanoplastics studying, embedded inside the damaging plaques in their blood vessels. This means that we're actually getting plastics from our food stuck into the diseased tissue in our blood vessels, the clogs for your heart, for your carotid arteries going to your brain, which is how they discovered this. Some of it comes from food. They also think some of it might come from the air that we actually breathe. Nonetheless, plastic in your kitchen is a hidden source of the toxins that are coming from microplastics. Okay, third hidden source, other sources of plastic. Think about the amount of plastic cups that you have, or plastic plates, or plastic utensils, or styrofoam. These are really kind of like the bread and butter of convenience culture in the kitchen. They're inexpensive. You go to a party, you can entertain with them. It all goes into the trash. So good in terms of a convenience, so bad when it comes to your health. All right. Now, ultra processed foods, the packaging, another source of plastics. In fact, many of these plastic packaging contain BPAs. That's bisphenol A. All right. There's 30 to 40 different kinds of these harmful, poisonous plastics. They all get shed into our food. Think about that frozen food that's got a little plastic thing that you poke with the fork and stick it into the microwave. What do you think that plastic's going to be shedding? Microplastics into your food. So again, lots of hidden toxins associated with microplastics. So what's the solution? Well, avoid packaged foods with plastic on them. All right. Just know that they're going to be laden with all these microplastics and shed them in. And rather than using plastic plates and plastic silverware, plastic cups, get paper cups, paper plates, or for utensils, swap out the plastics for wooden spoons. That might be actually a much better way to be able to avoid those hidden toxins, and better for the environment as well. Another source of hidden toxins is your kitchen sink sponge. All right. Now, this is actually kind of a crazy thing, but we're using the sponge to clean our plates, right? Well, studies have shown that sponges can contain 362 types of bacteria that, the sponge is used for the plate. It sits there wet, perfect environment for bacteria to grow. We don't wash the sponge. We actually use a sponge to wash everything else. It just sits there festering and growing like a petri dish. All right. And how many bacteria can grow? 362 types of bacteria, 46 billion bacteria per square centimeter of your sponge. All right. So what's a better choice? Well, you can actually throw out your sponge, after every use or after every couple of uses, perhaps. Not very economically efficient. All right. An expensive way to clean your dishes. Or you can actually use a brush. All right. Brushes have been studied and they've been shown to harbor less bacteria than a sponge. A sponge, like the perfect petri dish. Brushes are a little bit better, although they also grow bacteria as well. What you want to do if you use a brush is to wash after you use the brush to clean. You want to clean your brush. Okay. Wash your brush after each use. Use hot water, use some soap on the brush, and that'll keep the bacteria down. All right. What about another hidden source of toxins? Well, soaps and detergents that contain fragrance. You know, the hand soap that actually smells nice, makes your hand smells nice. You know, it could be lavender, it could be citrus, whatever it is. It turns out that flavoring, these fragrances contain phthalates. That's spelled P-H-T-H-A-L-A-T-E-S, phthalates. And the phthalates have been shown to disrupt our gut microbiome. They actually turn our healthy gut into an unhealthy gut. An unhealthy gut means that your inflammation goes up. It actually can damage your mood because gut bacteria talking to your brain sends cross signals, and lots of other things that your gut bacteria are doing can be disrupted by phthalates found in the scents, the fragrances found in detergents and in soaps. Okay, so by the way, where else do you find them besides soaps and detergents? You see them in air freshener. You find them in cleaning products. Those are all phthalates. So what's the solution? Go for the non-toxic. It should be labeled non-toxic, phthalate-free. Look at the ingredient label. Look for phthalate-free. No fragrance cleaning products are a much better choice, and avoid air fresheners. Another source of hidden toxins, this one might not be in your kitchen, but just outside your kitchen, is the old charred grill, right? So think about it. We're cooking on the grill. We've got to serve the dinner. We might turn off the heat and we go away. Well, guess what? All that char just stays on there until the next time. It turns out that char on the grill, on the grate, actually contains polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and heterocyclic amines. All right. Don't worry about spelling all those things, remembering all those things. Those are carcinogens. All right. Those carcinogens will get onto the food the next time you're cooking on it, unless you clean those grates. I know it's really hard to clean the grates each time the way that you want to. So what's the solution? The solution is to deliberately clean. Remember to clean your grill after every single use. All right. And before each use, really scrub it clean. All right. Make sure you rinse it off and get rid of all those char fragments that are carcinogens.
Hey, if you're enjoying this content, then I know that you'll love this new resource I have on foods that you should swap out and foods that you should swap in to improve your health and to prevent disease. My resource helps you identify the foods that are probably sitting in your pantry or fridge right now that I recommend ditching, and tells you what to replace them with that have been shown in research and human studies to strengthen your body's health defenses. So it's time to toss out the bad and bring in the good. You won't want to miss out on this resource that I'm offering. Get it for free right now in the caption below. Now, back to the video.
All right. One last hidden source of toxins is old expired food, right? Now, nobody likes to waste food. We all have leftovers. We keep them in the fridge. Many of us don't purge our refrigerator on a regular basis. So the back of the fridge, you wind up having a lot of food that's been sitting there a long time. Or you actually have food that's been expired and you haven't checked the date. All right. Here's the thing. When you have old food, bacteria can grow in it. When you have expired food, expiration dates are talking about the quality of the food, but eventually they can actually grow bacteria as well. Bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria. These are the bacteria that cause food poisoning. Now, why do bacteria cause food poisoning? Well, the bacteria release toxins into your food. That's what food poisoning is. You're actually being poisoned by the toxins released by the bacteria that you don't want to be growing in there. Okay. We're not talking about fermentation. We're actually talking about the growth of harmful pathogenic disease-causing bacteria. They release endotoxins and other types of toxins that poison our system. How do we know it poisons our system? Well, guess what? It causes nausea, vomiting, cramping, diarrhea. It can fever, sweating. It can even affect your brain and make you confused. All right. And with all that diarrhea, you get dehydrated. Okay. This is why you want to actually be very careful that you're not actually keeping old, moldy foods, expired foods, and you're eating fresh. And so don't cook so much. Cook for a day or two. You don't want to actually keep the food around for too long so that bacteria will release toxins into your food. I hope you got something out of this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.
Hi there. If you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'll love the next one. Stay here and check it out, and I'll see you there.